GoForThe2.com in with the week 2 predictions. Going to give 3 rapid fire picks on this video. If you want all the selections, I put out 2 game specific videos in the ACC, Georgia Tech, Florida State, Syracuse, and North Carolina. They're up on YouTube along on the website. So total of 5 picks up on GoForThe2.com. So check it out. If you want all the selections of every game this weekend, want to know who I like, tune into College Football Today, 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. Eastern, SportsGrid Network, SportsGrid.com, SportsGrid.com, 10 a.m. Eastern to 12 p.m. Eastern. Check it out. We'll be going through all the 12 o'clock through 8 o'clock games for Saturday night and Saturday afternoon. And then from 12 to 4, I'll be in there 6 straight hours, in-game live, breaking down all the 12 o'clock matchups. Some really good ones, Iowa State and UL Lafayette, Baylor, La Tech, Army, UL Monroe. I'll be breaking them all down as they progress in live game time situations. So check it out. In-game live, SportsGrid.com, SportsGrid.com, Roku, or Sling TV. So check it out. Let's talk about this matchup in Manhattan, Kansas. Chris Klieman and Kansas State, week 1 matchup against Arkansas State. They opened as a 10-point favorite, now up to 10.5 in most books. Not a lot of line movement here. Favorite is Kansas State. Dynamic season last year with the bowl loss over Navy, but 8-5 overall. Really turned around this program from a physicality perspective under Chris Klieman. Got the victory over Jalen Hurts and Oklahoma last year, going up against Arkansas State. Arkansas State lost that matchup on the road to Memphis last week, 37-24, but I thought they played very well in that ball game. They got very good quarterback play out of Bonner and Hatcher. Both of those quarterbacks combined to complete over 60% of their passes, 299 passing yards, 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions, 2 big play wide receivers in Green and Adams combined, 11 receptions, 165 receiving yards. Cause of concern for Arkansas State. Physicality on the offensive line for Memphis really wore them down at the point of attack. Memphis was able to rush for over 200 yards, more importantly, average over 4 yards per carry. That's going to be the matchup going on the road against a physical Kansas State team. But I do feel the game in terms of on the road against Memphis will benefit Arkansas State in this matchup. You look at this ball game against Kansas State. Kansas State is a run-heavy offense. They only have 2 starters coming back. One of their starters is Skylar Thompson. Their quarterback did complete only 59% of his passes, 12 touchdowns, 7 interceptions. This is an offense that wanted to pound the rock. They averaged 180 rushing yards per game, but couldn't stretch defenses vertically, only average in the area of about 178 passing yards per game. And I think that's the matchup you want to see play out if you're Arkansas State. I think they have the advantage with 2 solid quarterbacks in Bonner and Hatcher. They have an extra game in terms of preparation, even though it's back-to-back road games. I think they're a live dog in this matchup. You look at Kansas State overall, from a secondary perspective, they can be challenged over the top. They struggled against some of the teams in the Big 12 in terms of the spread offense. That's what Arkansas State has, and I like them on the road in this ballgame. I don't think it'll be easy, but I do feel they cover this 10.5-point number Saturday afternoon in Manhattan, Kansas. Turn our attention to another ballgame. It's Saturday night, Tulane on the road against South Alabama. South Alabama is a 16-point underdog, got the victory outright. It opened at 16. By game time, it was 13 over Southern Miss in that matchup. Southern Miss failed to run the football, only averaged 2.5 yards per carry in that ball game. They were one-dimensional, put in long third down situations. And credit South Alabama, they had lost 15 straight heading into that matchup. I believe it was on the road. They got the victory in a dynamic effort, an 11-point win over Southern Miss, forced Jay Hobson to retire and resign in that matchup. You look at that quarterback, Desmond Trotter. He stepped up with a big day. Jalen Tolbert as well. And that's going to be the connection that everybody's looking to watch on Saturday night at home against Tulane. Tulane is a very physical team. This is not a finesse-style offense led by Willie Fritz. They're going to line up and force South Alabama to shut down the run. Now, McMillan, their quarterback, has moved on, but they do have an experienced senior quarterback in Keon Howard that played at Southern Miss. Make no mistake about it, from a physicality perspective, Tulane is going to force South Alabama to shut down the run. This is an offense in Tulane that's averaging 243 rushing yards per game. They got a lot of JUCO and graduate transfer talent that come over on the defensive side of the ball, and they are coached up. Secondary is always solid. They held opposing quarterbacks last year to 54% completion percentage. I know South Alabama got the victory over Southern Miss. I didn't feel Southern Miss was prepared. I like Tulane in this matchup. I think they're a disciplined team. I like the way they're coached. They're physical at the point of attack. I like their playmakers, and I don't care that they're going with even though it's an experienced quarterback, he's a senior, doesn't have a lot of game experience, it doesn't matter. I don't think South Alabama can stop the run in this matchup. I think Tulane wins this ball game by double digits. They're on the road. Line opened up at 11.5. It's down to 7.5. I like Tulane to dominate this matchup from start to finish on both sides of the ball. Look for Tulane to pick up this victory Saturday night. Other matchup is Army and UL Monroe. What can you say? I was dead wrong about Middle Tennessee State and their quarterback Asher O'Hara. It started in the first drive of the ball game. You cannot defeat a triple option without the ability to jump up early and put the pressure on Army or Navy to match them score for score. You look at the difference in both of those games. Middle Tennessee State, first drive, turnover. Army, short field, scores a touchdown, game over. They're playing from behind the rest of the way. BYU dominates, jumps up 7-0 in that matchup, puts the pressure on Navy's offense to match them score for score. Now, UL Monroe, their quarterback, Caleb Evans, has moved on to the NFL. We have two raw, inexperienced quarterbacks in Jeremy Suits, that's a sophomore, Colby Suits, and Jeremy Hunt, who's a junior. So that's going to be the matchup. I think Army wins this ball game. Let me just say this. I think this is going to be a severe overreaction from week 1 to week number 2 because of their dominance against Middle Tennessee State. Army can run the football, make no mistake about it. UL Monroe allowed 38 points per game. They allowed over 200 rushing yards per game. Their defensive coordinator quit 10 days ago. I understand all of that. There's a lot of inexperience, but this is still a scheme that put up 31 points per game in 2019. I think that they can score some points on Army's defense. Army has some cornerback issues. Middle Tennessee State did not take advantage of it. They weren't prepared. I know UL Monroe has COVID issues, but asking Army to win this game by 19 points is asking a lot. I think UL Monroe is in this ballgame from start to finish. Look for a lot of points. Army wins, but UL Monroe does keep it within the number Saturday afternoon.